Aloha! It's Thursday, June 1st, 2017 at 1:20 in the afternoon. I'd like to welcome here to Safari Helicopters Tasha, Jared, Shelly, Jim, Tom, and Sydney. Welcome here, guys. Good aloha! Alright, everybody, welcome here to Safari Helicopters. I am gonna be your pilot for the day. My name is Bruno, like Bruno Mars, so you don't forget, okay? But I'm not gonna sing, okay? Don't even ask. I don't know how to sing. I can barely fly the helicopter, yeah? Alright, so you're gonna be taking off out of this pad here, then you're gonna be landing back on this pad. However, if you do have an emergency, I will land the helicopter wherever I can to meet that emergency. So if anything like that happens, you guys wait for me before you exit the helicopter, okay? I'm gonna give the heads up, say hey, we can exit, and we only use the life vests after we are out of the helicopter. Exit first and only then life vests on. So two emergency exits, one each side of the helicopter. Those two doors. We have door handles on the doors, and please do not touch the handles in flight, as the doors are gonna pop up open. We don't want to open door in flight. All right? It's not good. And you guys can and should talk to me as we fly over the island. We have 3 microphones on board, one on the front, 2 on the back. You just grab the microphone. It's important that you hold really close to your mouth so it catches your voice, and you're more than welcome to ask me questions about anything, anytime. Just as we fly over the airport, I'm gonna have to be talking with the guys on the control tower right there, so I cannot actually be talking to you. So, but you guys gonna know. I'm gonna resume the tour as soon as I get cleared out of the airspace, and we're gonna be talking. So, if you have questions, please ask. All right? It's a non-smoking flight, and seatbelts fastened at all times, okay? Please do not try to light up your cigarettes. I'm gonna see you, right? Just kidding, guys. It's all good. And, yep. And if you ever feel queasy, if you ever feel a little bit special, please talk to me, let me know. That's the very first thing you gotta do. Say, Bruno, I'm feeling like a little bit crazy. And the second thing is grab one of those Aloha bags. We have Aloha bags inside. Those blue envelopes on the back of the seat. And on the front, they're like under the seat here in the front. Right? But it's important to talk to me and let me know. You good? Everybody's good to go? Ready to fly? Okay, let's do it. Alright, let's go. Tower, Safari 29, November for Harbor Departure.
Safari 2, Louis Tower, taxi, mid-pad, Harbor Departure, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, mid-pad, Safari 2. Let's go, guys. side. So just got released out of the control tower so I can talk to you. And the first thing that I want to point in this tour is a little lake on the right side. That one is called Menehune Fish Pond. And it was built by ancient Hawaiians so they could have a consistent supply of easy catch fish. Fish would go through a gate, getting trapped inside, and then the royalty, which in Hawaiian is called alihi, could get fish out of that pond. We are going to see on the left side through this opening an area called Kipukai, and Kipukai is where they filmed a bunch of different movies including The Descendants and 6 Days, 7 Nights. That area is only accessible by the ocean as it's surrounded by private lands.
How much of the island is owned by the government or versus private?
Yeah, I think like there's one family here that owns a big chunk of land. It's pretty much like apart from the state is the single bigger landowner on the island. It's called the Robinson family. Gonna fly over their land. They own about 16% of the island.
And how much is the rest of it owned by the government then?
I don't have like a set number, but I would guess around like 40%. That's my guess. I don't have like an official number, okay? But it's for sure more than the Robinson family. You can see on the left, the sunny and dry side of Kauai is the south side of the island. And you can see the shoreline right there, that's Poipu area. Poipu is where most of the hotels and resorts are. And you can see Koloa town just off the reservoir. That town right there is on the south side as well, and that used to be the center of the sugarcane industry back in the days. Straight ahead we're gonna fly right over the tunnel of trees. If you ever drive to the south side of the island, you will be driving inside that tunnel of trees. You can see the cars driving by, and the story behind it is that back in the days that part of the road used to be really muddy. So they planted those trees on the sides, that way they could suck the water, making it drier and easier to go through. Left side, Kalaheo town, the top of the hill. Gonna be flying over the ridge line. We're gonna shake a little bit. We're gonna get a couple bumps over this ridge line, this next part of the flying because of the mountains, but it's totally normal and expected, okay? Totally good, it's okay. Just if you realize that your pilot starts to scream or to cry, then you can get worried, okay? If the pilot's not crying, I swear, it's all good. You can see how the trees below us, they're shaking. That means it's windy. I get a bump just as we cross the billboard straight ahead. If you look to the far left side, we're gonna see the largest coffee plantation on the entire US. It's called Kauai Coffee. And a great place to go if you guys like coffee, as they have coffee tours and tasting of 18 different kinds of coffee.
Bruno, what's the highest point on the island?
The highest point on the island is gonna be behind those clouds right there on the right side. It's called Mount Waimea. It's 5,248, if I'm not wrong, feet tall.
What's the ceiling on this helicopter?
This one can go to 20,000 feet.
We've done the helicopter tour on Maui, where you go to top of Haleakala.
It's possible to fly over Haleakala, yeah, but by regulations we can only fly to 14,000 feet. It's not a limitation from the machine. So we're gonna fly inside this canyon here to see a famous waterfall. It's Jurassic Falls. That's where they supposedly landed the helicopter when they got to the Jurassic Park in the first movie. It's 480 feet tall. Yep, many other waterfalls on the walls, but that's the main one. In Hawaiian, the name is Manawai o Puna. That means water power of Puna. And we also can see here the 5 sisters. They feed Jurassic Falls with water. And waterfalls pretty much like the entire extension of the walls on this canyon called Na Pali. And this area here, this land that you're flying over, all the way from the top of the ridge line, the waterfall, it's all private lands. It's all privately owned by a traditional family here on Kauai. It's called the Robinson family. They own about 16% of the island. They own this for 7 generations now. They got it on the 1860s. And we're gonna see the canyons now. So the first canyon, it's a private canyon of the Robinson family called Olokele Canyon, so we can only see it by helicopter. It's straight ahead, and you're gonna see it's super red and dry where we fly over. However, towards the right side, it's much greener and more wet. That's because of the difference in rainfall. The top of the island is on the far right side of the helicopter below the clouds right there, Mount Waimea. It's also the wettest spot on the earth. So 450 inches as an average rainfall every year, and 700 as a record. So as closer we get towards that center, more rainfall we're gonna have. Therefore, the canyon gets greener. So all the water that falls heavily on that center then flows back to the ocean because it's downsloping terrain, and during that process it cuts through the rock layers, eroding the land and building the canyons the way we can see. The Robinson family private land goes all the way until the ridge line ahead. From that on, it's state land, and where we fly now is still private land. So you're gonna see a canyon, part of the state land, but there's no roads here, no way to access. The only one that has a road to is the main one, Waimea Canyon, on the left side. On the edge of the canyon, it's Waimea Canyon Drive. That's how people can go to see the top part of the island. Gonna fly over this opening here, and you guys gonna look down. We're gonna see a dramatic drop on the walls, more than 1,800 feet until the bottom of the canyon. The back of the canyon, you're gonna see waterfalls. So those waterfalls, they built this canyon after 3 million years of erosion. And on the walls we can see a lot of different rock layers. Every layer was a different volcanic eruption, was a different lava spill, and that's how the island was built, layer after layer, one on top of each other. You can see how the layers, they match on both sides of the canyon, and also all the way from the front to the back. So that shows it used to be a flat piece of land, and the rivers below, they cut through. From here, we can also see Waimea Canyon on the left side, And the layers on the left side, they don't match the layers on the right side. That's because the left side is 5 million years old and the right side 3 million years old. So they had a totally different formation process. On the back of Waimea Canyon, we're gonna see a waterfall. It's called Waimea, 730 feet tall, and it's possible to hike all the way to the top. Good panoramic view of the Waimea Canyon as well. It's also known as the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. And we're going to be crossing right over Waimea Canyon Drive. And the green area here below us, it's a state park. It's called Kauai State Park, and there are a lot of outdoor activities that can be done. A lot of different hikes, a lot of different off-road trails, field, lake, field. Below us, there was a forest fire on 2012. They're removing the dead trees, replacing them with native plants. We can also see on the left side Holly Beach, and that's the end of the road towards the west side of Kauai. Behind Holly there's a large military base called the Pacific Missile Range Facility, which is part of the US defense system, and that's why we have those white domes on the left. Those are radars and communication antennas for a military base. How are you guys doing? All good? Happy? Ready for the Na Pali coast? Yes. Excited? Let's do it. You're gonna fly over the ridge line ahead and you're gonna see the blue waters of the Na Pali. So guys, gonna look down, gonna see Miloli Beach Park on the left side and Nualolokai on the right. So those places are only accessible by boat. And that's where the snorkeling tour companies bring people for the snorkeling tours. Valley on the right side called Nualolo, it's believed to be the place where the first Polynesians came to the island about 1,000 years ago. valley straight ahead called Honopu is where the ancient Polynesians buried their kings. That's why it's also known as Kings Valley. They considered this one sacred, and that's why they buried their kings inside here.
Bruno, what are those little white birds flying around?
Those are tropic birds, the one with the long tail. So they get food from the ocean and they live in land. So they come here, get food and take for their kids. They fly like crazy, they don't follow a steady path. They're like drunken birds. And guys, on the right side, you can see the beach right there. It's Kalalau Beach. Kalalau is the end of the 11 miles, the famous Na Pali coast hike called Kalalau Trail. 11 miles of hiking to get there. And on the top of Kalalau Beach you have that structure is the cathedrals. The cathedrals is the signature structure, the postcard picture of the Na Pali coast. And they have the name because they look like the cathedrals of Europe with those really narrow and tall razorback ridgelines. Below us, this valley, it's called Kalalau Valley, is the largest one on the entire Na Pali coast. Back in the days it was home for 5,000 native Polynesians. And if you drive Waimea Canyon Road all the way to the end, it ends on the top edge of the cliff right there, overlooking the valley on a lookout called Kalalau Lookout. We're gonna fly towards the back of this valley to see a waterfall, and that waterfall on the back, it's over 1,000 feet high. It has a natural pool on the bottom. There's people on the bottom right there on the pool. It's 8 miles of hike each way to get to the waterfall. So I'm rather checking it out by helicopter. Much easier.
Bruno, are we at the extreme north end of the island?
A little bit closer to your mouth so I can hear it. Say again, sorry?
Are we at the extreme north end of
Yeah,
the island?
northwest. Northwest, yeah. I'm gonna turn the helicopter around, guys, so you can look back and have a good view of the entire Na Pali coast, which is behind us right now. So we're gonna have the best view of the entire Na Pali coast. Check it out. It's beautiful Na Pali. Valley on the right side is called Kauai. It's the first 2 miles of the Kalalau Trail. It's a really popular hike. A lot of people hike 2 miles in and 2 miles out as a day trip. Makes for a really good hiking day. Can even look to the edge of the mountain. We're gonna be able to see the hiking trail. That mountain, it's known as Bali High because that's where they filmed Bali High movie. The beach on the right side is Ke Beach, and Ke is the end of the road towards the north side of the island. So if you drive all the way to the north, it ends right there on the lifeguard tower. That place is really good for snorkeling. And that's where the Kalalau Trail begins.
Bruno, why are some parts of the water darker than the others?
Sorry, why what?
Some parts of the water are darker. Why is that?
Oh yeah, we can see like the yellowish part, that's reef, yeah? Can you see like more yellow? That's reef. And you can see like darker parts like straight ahead, like it's kind of like more black. That's like a shade from the clouds. On the right side here you can see all the reef heads. And the reef on the right side is called Tunnels Reef. It's a really famous surfing spot. As a curiosity, that like round thing on the middle of like Tunnels Reef, can you see like a black thing? That's a school of fish that's hanging in there. Hawaiians are gonna say, oh, that's a fish ball. And those two valleys here, they extend all the way towards that center of the island, Mount Waialeale, Wainiha and Lumahai. Wainiha is actually the longest valley of the entire state. Kauai Beach right below us. It's a great place to spend a day out at the beach on the north side of the island. And rainfall on the north side can reach on the shoreline about 100 inches and closer to the center about 200 inches every year. It's a lot of water, therefore the mountains are covered with really dense vegetation and lush green colors everywhere. That's the wet side of the island. Looking to the left, we're gonna see Hanalei Bay. It's a famous part of Kauai, and on the far end of the bay we can see the pier, one landmark of the island. So those fields on the back of Hanalei Bay, those are all taro fields. So the Polynesians, when they came over to the island, they did not have potatoes or rice to use as a staple food, to use as a source of carbs. But they did have the taro, so they brought the taro over and that became part of the Hawaiian diet and the Hawaiian culture. That's what they used to make poi. It's a purple brownish paste that's really typical here on the islands.
We can sigh, say goodbye, cross its dependency. We can say, sail away, sail away, sail. We can say, sail away, sail away, sail away. 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 Sail away, sail away, sail away.
And that on the top of the hill on the left side, that's Princeville area. And we're gonna fly over Hanalei Valley, so below us is gonna be the river, Hanalei River. The beauty of this valley are the lush green colors and hundreds of different waterfalls. A waterfall on the left side. It's called Pecoa. It's one of the few waterfalls inside this valley that has a proper name. inside Hanalei Valley, you pretty much have like waterfalls all over the place. And those vertical lines, those black marks, those are all waterfalls, and when it rains a lot, they come to life. And on the left side, there's another waterfall with a name. That one is called Waimea in Hawaiian. That means something like water of life. And if you look to the wall on the left, we're gonna see there are ferns. Lots of ferns, pretty much like in many places. More than 100 different kinds of ferns on the back of Hanalei Valley. And pretty much like we're flying here around Mount Poialeale that you guys asked. That's the tallest part of the island. But it's not only a mountain, it's also a volcano. And going through this corner here, we can actually go and fly inside the caldera of the volcano. You guys ever been inside a volcano before? Alright, so we're gonna go there and check it out. Inside here, that's the caldera of the volcano that built this island. It's considered a sacred spot by the ancient Hawaiians. So guys, that's how a volcano looks like on the inside. Very back of the caldera there's a wall right there. It's called the Weeping Wall. And the walls here inside the volcano, they're over 3,000 feet high. They come all the way from the top part of the island. Really impressive inside the volcano, yeah? Really cool. And from here we can see another volcano. It's a smaller one. The right side straight ahead is a rim and a crater. It's a small volcano called Kilohana volcano. Kilohana erupted 150,000 years ago last time, and that we built these flat lands that we are flying over. Called Lihui Basin.
Was this another fire down here? Was this a fire?
No,
or-
what they're doing here, they're removing the trees, the ones with the flat tops. So those ones with the flat tops are called albizia trees, and they're bad for the island. They were brought over from Africa, and much more water here than on Africa, so they spread all over the place. You can see there's like trees here on the ground and a huge wood chip pile. Can you see right there? So what they do, they cut the trees, they make wood chips, then they burn to produce electricity to the island. They kill the native plants, that's why. They're super tall and super dense, so they take the light out of the native plants that are smaller. Whatever they can, they're taking them down. The weird thing is that the wood, it's useless because it grows so fast because of the water that the wood cannot be used for anything. Two plates for again, what was your question?
Did on the island, did they on Oahu they produced a lot of pineapple and things like that? Is that the same thing here on this island? Did they produce
Yeah,
a
we
lot
don't
of
have
fruit?
like many pineapples as Maui. Maui there's plenty of pineapples as Oahu. Here we don't have like that many pineapples as, you know, just like a small things, but it's not like a big thing. We don't have like a dope plantation as we do have on Oahu. Pretty much like the biggest thing is gonna be cattle. This ranch below us, you can see cattle right there, and here on the right, on the left, it's what they get like Kauai grass-fed beef. Ever see, oh, the burgers are made of Kauai grass-fed beef. Chances are really likely it's coming out of this ranch below us. And guys, from here on, we're gonna have to be talking with the control tower to bring us back to the airport. And I won't be able to be talking to you anymore all the way until we land the helicopter. All I gotta say is thank you so much for coming over, for being great passengers and choosing Safari. So mahalo, mahalo guys.
Gabby.
For proceed direct to gate, land shown risk.
Roger, proceeding to the gate, landing pilot's risk, Color.
Number 2 to Fall Island on left crosswind, south path clear to land.
Number 2, island side, Safari to
Station 7 Delta Yankee, cross runway 3 at Delta, straight into the ramp, monitor ground point 9er.
Cross 3, Delta into the ramp, monitor ground, triple.
Dreams that you dream of top, that's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dream that you did to, oh why can't I? Well, I see trees of Greenland, red roses too. I'll watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Here we go, guys. Back safe and sound. Same pad we took off from.